It all started on a quiet Sunday morning. I was sipping coffee on my porch when I noticed a woman marching down the sidewalk toward me with a clipboard in her hand. I knew instantly what kind of person she was. She had that same tight-lipped look and judgmental glare I'd seen a dozen times before. Yep, a full-fledged HOA Karen. She didn't even say good morning. Instead, she pointed her pen at my lawn and said, "You know, sir, this neighborhood has very specific rules about yard decor. You can't just put that kind of mailbox up without HOA approval." I smiled politely and replied, "Ma'am, I'm not in your HOA." Her face froze like I just insulted her ancestors. "What do you mean you're not in the HOA?" she asked, raising her voice. "Everyone here is under the HOA's authority." I shook my head, pulled out a folded map of the property lines and said, "Nope. This little patch of heaven used to belong to the county. I bought it directly from them. This land has never been under HOA jurisdiction." She didn't like that answer one bit. She stormed off, muttering something about getting this handled. I didn't think much of it at the time, but oh, I should have known. The next morning, I woke up to flashing blue and red lights outside my house. 2 police cars were parked in front, and guess who was standing next to them? Karen, clipboard in hand, looking smug as ever. The officers approached me as I stepped onto my porch. "Sir," one of them said, "we received a complaint from the HOA president that you're trespassing on association property and refusing to comply with neighborhood regulations." I couldn't help but laugh. "Officer," I said calmly, "I own this property outright." "Would you like to see the deed?" Karen scoffed. "He's lying. I've lived here 10 years. I know every house in this community." The officer looked between us, clearly tired of her energy already. I handed him my property documents. He scanned through them, raised an eyebrow and said, "Ma'am, it appears he's right. This property is not under the HOA. You have no authority here." Karen's jaw dropped. "That can't be. Everyone here must follow the same rules." "Not everyone," I said, giving her a polite grin. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to enjoy my Sunday in peace." But she wasn't done. Over the next few weeks, the harassment escalated. HOA notices kept appearing in my mailbox. Fines for improper trash bins, unauthorized fence height, and even non-approved lawn furniture. I threw them all in the trash. Then came the intimidation tactics. HOA board members started parking in front of my driveway, blocking me in. A few of them even took photos of my property as if they were building a case. But what they didn't realize was I was already building my own. See, I work in real estate development, and while I'm not one to brag, I had recently closed on a massive land purchase, a foreclosure sale that included several parcels around this very neighborhood. The HOA board didn't bother to check who their new landowner was when the deal went through. They assumed it was another faceless corporation. They were wrong. One afternoon, I showed up at their next HOA meeting. You should have seen the look on Karen's face when I walked into that room wearing a suit and carrying a folder full of documents. "Sir, this is a private meeting for HOA members only," she snapped. I smiled. "Oh, I know. And as of last week, I'm the new owner of the land your HOA sits on. So technically, you're meeting on my property." The room went dead silent. Karen stuttered, "That's impossible. We own this neighborhood." I opened my folder and slid a few papers across the table. Actually, the HOA doesn't own the land beneath the communal areas. The park, the playground, the clubhouse parking lot, all of it was part of the county parcel I purchased. And now it's mine. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. I continued, "So about those fake fines you've been sending me, consider them void. In fact, you might want to check your bylaws because trespassing and harassment can get your HOA into some serious legal trouble." The HOA's lawyer, sitting in the corner, started flipping through papers frantically. You could see the color drain from his face. He whispered something to Karen, who immediately stood up and left the room in a huff. I didn't chase her. I just smiled, thanked everyone for their time, and walked out. But the real fun came a week later. Karen must have thought she could scare me into backing off because I found a notice taped to my door, threatening legal action. That was her biggest mistake yet. My attorney filed a cease and desist order against the HOA for harassment, along with a demand letter warning of potential civil damages. But I didn't stop there. Since I owned the land beneath several HOA amenities, I also served them a lease notice.